G'day again. Welcome to another really quick video in regards to, for materials and methods in regards to a few building products that we're going to be using in our research task number one. I'll step back a little bit to get fully in the frame. So the other day I stepped out to a construction site and we had a bit of a look at brick veneer, so in its application. But I've got a few samples here as well that I want to go through, show a few things. So in that video you would have seen these things, these brick ties. So this brick tie, it's embedded in the brickwork like this, and then ties back to our timber frame there like that, stabilising our single leaf of brickwork to our timber frame. So in a brick veneer construction, the timber frame is actually the structural component. The brick section is just a cladding. So here's our brickwork. That is essentially just a cladding. Despite being very hard and very durable, it doesn't form that structural component. It's not load bearing. All of our roof loads are transferred through the frame. So that's our standard brick tie. These brick ties, however, have some limitation in that you cannot use a brick tie like this if you've got sarking. So sarking is that builder's wrap, which you typically see on builds today. You go past a new build, for example, and the whole outside of the building is clad in a flexible fabric, often with the builder's details and name, etc. on it. That's called sarking. Obviously, we don't want these brick ties puncturing through the sarking, because when that sarking moves, it will tear against that, but also it compromises that sarking and reduces the utility of that sarking by punching a hole in it. So what we use instead when we've got sarking, or if we've got sheet bracing on a building, is these ties, which are face fixing ties. This little face here, that fixes directly to our timber stud and then goes into our brickwork like that and is mortared in. So we've got our brick tie, our face fixing brick tie that doesn't end up puncturing through the sarking. Other forms of ties we've got, so in brickwork, every 6 metres for relatively stable soil, every 5 metres for highly reactive soil, we have what are called brick control joints. That enables some movement and flexibility in that brick wall without inducing cracking. So obviously we still need to tie those bricks together across that control joint. So that's what this type of tie does. So it has that ability to expand and contract with the movement of the brickwork. So those control joints are also 10 millimetres, the same as all of your mortar joints within your brickwork. More detailed mention of those within the lecture recordings from last semester, but we have that type of tie as well. And another form of tie that enables that are these sliding ties that will go across a brick control joint as well. Another thing to add in regards to our video with the brick veneer cladding the other day is, so we've got this. So this is our standard brick. What's written on that? Pressed clay brick. So that's our standard brick of standard dimensions. So 230, 76, 110. So and then 230 this direction, 110, 76. Important dimensions to remember, because you have to size up all of your openings and all of your spacings between openings in accordance with this, plus a 10 millimetre mortar gap around it. But not all bricks are the same. In fact, through history, we've had increasing size of bricks. I think I've got a fairly old brick here. So you'll see that one is much thinner than a new standard brick. So that's an older brick, which is a non-standard size. This modern brick is our standard size. So standard sizes are really quite reliable. But there's also another difference that happened in modern brickwork, which is called the modular brick, which, if I place that adjacent this other one, you'll notice it's a little bit longer. So I'll put it on top. So whereas this one's 230 long, this one is 300 long, well 290 actually. So when we add our 10 mm mortar gap, we end up having increments of 300 millimetres, which also works very well in building. You'll notice that all of your plasterboard sheet products, in fact many spacings within building happen in 300 increments, so 600 millimetre spacing of studs, for example, or 1200 millimetre spacing of rafters for sheet roofs. So 300 millimetres is a very common increment in building. But I guess essentially because the modular brick looks slightly different, carries a slightly different aesthetic, it's not something which is really taken off. So we still typically use the 230, 76, 110 size brick. Another thing we've got in the box, not because we'll be studying it, but is mud brick, or adobe as well. Something which isn't commonly used in Australia, has been used a little bit, particularly in the owner-builder type sphere, but is something that is commonly used around the world. But you may see that from time to time. And also, with our brickwork the other day on site, we saw a steel lintel. Well, this is that very same, well, not the very same lintel, that other lintel still back in the building, but this is the same type of thing, an equal angle lintel that carries brickwork over an opening. So wherever you have openings in your brick veneer, you need to have that, a lintel like that across the top. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that really quick snapshot for bricks, etc. And I hope to see you with another video soon. Thanks.